My name is Shelley, and welcome to my playlist, Research 101. I decided to do this playlist series on how I do my research because I get a lot of questions about it, especially from those that have listened and watched my playlist on Zettelkasten. So why would you want to learn how I do my research? I guess the first question is, why would you need an expert on research to help you improve your research? You might be thinking, what would make someone an expert on doing research? I recently read an article called The Making of an Expert that was published in the Harvard Business Review. And in that article, they actually identified 3 ways that you could identify whether someone was an expert within their field. The first way was, do they lead in performance consistently in a way that's superior to their peers? That's a little bit tough to measure when it comes to someone's ability to research. The metric, though, that I decided to use was my undergraduate degree. My undergraduate degree, or bachelor's degree, was in law and policy. It was a pre-law focus. And I graduated magna cum laude. Not necessarily the top of my class, but definitely in the upper levels. I was curious, how many people graduate their undergraduate degree with a magna cum laude or higher? And I was surprised to learn that it's the top 5 to 7%. And that's a US statistic. So out of all of the colleges and all of the students attending college, earning an undergraduate degree, there's only about 5% of us that will graduate magna cum laude. So I think it's safe to say that at least in my undergraduate program, my research was appropriate to maybe get me looked at as potentially an expert. After all, I was successful in researching and writing my papers for 4 years. That got me to think, though, what about consistency? How do you prove consistency? Well, after I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I went back to school to earn my master's degree. But not just one master's degree. I went back and earned 2 master's degrees simultaneously, basically doing 6 years of schooling in 3. Okay, how did I do? Believe it or not, I graduated and earned both master's degrees with highest distinction. Most universities don't use the Latin terminology of magna cum laude or summa cum laude. Once you're into the master's or the postdoctorate, or I should say the postgraduate level degrees like your PhD. But I was able to do some research, and only 1 to 2% of all master's college graduates within the United States graduate with any level of distinction. Okay, so I'm in the top 1% when it comes to master's programs. But that's just for 1 master's degree, and I did 2 simultaneously. I think it's safe to say that I consistently performed my research at a level that you could say was superior to my peers. Now I'm working on my PhD, doing a dissertation on the strategic planning and incorporation of artificial intelligence for corporates. Okay, I'm doing a lot of research. I've been doing a lot of research now for nearly a decade. I think it's safe to say that I'm an expert at research just based on performing consistently in a way that's superior to my peers. But is that enough? Well, the second question or point of determining if somebody's an expert is if they can produce concrete results. So has my research resulted in anything besides a parchment that says I graduated? Yeah, I've been published. I've been published in the Financial Services Review on the research I've done on artificial intelligence and how it's impacting financial services companies. So yeah, I would say that it's produced some concrete results. I've also been able to use my research to write articles that I have published on LinkedIn. Granted, they're self-published, but they're still gaining a following and interacting with people that are interested in the same topics that I am. I've also been able to use my research to leverage a book. Not quite published yet, but we're working on it. The third point of determining whether or not somebody is an expert is identifying whether or not their process is repeatable. In other words, is my research process that I've used to graduate with a bachelor's degree, magna cum laude, to graduate with 2 master's degrees with highest distinction, and now working on my dissertation and getting published before I've earned my PhD. I'm not saying that you're going to get the same types of grades that I did or that you'll have the same success that I did, but I'm pretty confident that you will at least become good at research in a way that you can use what you learn to further your own objectives and to do well in your studies. So in that sense, yes, I think it's repeatable. So I hope this helps, and I hope that you have the confidence to believe that the process I'm going to show you, while slow, while tedious, while painful, will ultimately end in results that you can be proud of. All right? So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.